Hey, good morning. This is Dr. Ruby Says, and today really is a special day. And I don't always make a big deal out of it, but today is actually my birthday. And I'm excited because this is a big birthday for me. This is, should I tell it? Should I tell how old I am? Yeah, this is number 60. And I'm so excited about it. You know, a lot of women don't like to tell their age and all of that stuff, but it is what it is for me. I don't particularly care because I'm grateful that I'm still here, that I'm still in great health, and that I'm still alive at the age of 60. And I don't look like what I've been through. I don't look like my age. So I'm okay with it. Anyway, happy birthday to me. Let's get right on into the subject matter that we're talking about today. We're talking about organization. And of course, you all know that our theme for this year is strategy. And so just about everything that we're going to be talking about this year is different strategies on how to accomplish certain things. We all make goals at the beginning of the year. And so that being said, we want to make sure that we have great strategies to accomplish those goals. And so today we're going to be talking about organization. I always say that if you don't want to have to get ready, then you need to stay ready. Stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. And I thought about this a few years ago when one of my board members said to me, if somebody offered you $1 million deal right now, you wouldn't be able to take it because you're not ready to execute the things that you say you do at this point. And I had to really think about it. And I really had to get hard and ruthless with myself and do what I like to do is snatch myself up in the collar and say, get it together, sister girl. Get yourself ready and stay ready so that you don't have to scramble to get ready at the last minute. And so some of the things that we need to stay ready with is that we need to keep a fail-safe system. If you read our newsletter this week, and shameless plug, you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter at www.rubyepal.com. You can also schedule a free 30-minute consultation there as well. However, this week's newsletter talked all about organization, and there are 3 different types of organization that we talk about. We talk about structural organization. Now, most of you all know that my motto is that I empower leadership in life and business. We're all leaders of some sort. We don't have to be the CEO of a company. We don't even have to have a small business in order to be a leader. Leaders are anyone who influence somebody else. That being said, you can be a leader in your own household, whether you have a husband and children or family and children and all of those things, or whether it's just you, because you have to lead your own lifestyle so that you'll be successful in all that you do. So, are you ready for when life happens? I've had things in my life that happened some years ago that created life happening situations, and I wasn't necessarily ready for them. And so I had to create some systems to make sure that when life happens, that life don't stop, but it continues to happen on the other side of those negative life happening situations, if you know what I mean. And so 3 areas or 3 types of organization are structural organization, internal organization, and relational organization. Structural organization is systems that we put into place in our life and in our business that provide order and direction so that we can achieve the set goals. What are some of the goals that you set this year? Now, I'm personally one that don't typically make resolutions. I set goals because with those goals, I put in place action steps to achieve those goals. And if you've ever been in one of my trainings, I don't think there's ever a training that I offer in my Leadership Academy or any place that I'm called to speak where I don't mention SMART goals, and more importantly, smarter goals. SMART goals are those that are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, and they're timely. Smarter goals go on to talk about evaluating the goals that you set once you've kind of gotten a little bit down the line, and then restructuring if restructuring is necessary. I like to do quarterly reviews of my goals. And I think about those things, pardon me, quarter by quarter that may be going well. And then maybe some of the goals that I'm not hitting on all cylinders. And so what do? Those things that are going well, I continue on, especially if they're on target to meet the goal that I originally set. What do I do with the ones that seem to be lagging around? I create smarter goals. So I take those goals, I look at what worked and what didn't work, and then I make it a point of evaluating those things and restructuring if I need to. And so that's kind of my system of starting again without starting over, AKA don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Just add a little bit more water to it or add a new strategy to it so that I will reach the original goal or a better goal for that matter. So that's the structural goal. The internal goal are those goals that we put in place to help us deal with our emotions, our mental wellness, and all of those things that come when distress because of life happening show up. Now, there is a such thing as positive stress, or what we call eustress. Eustress are those exciting things. You got a new job, the job of your dreams. You got a new house. You got a new spouse. You had a baby. But of course, with all of those things, create more responsibilities. And responsibilities, while they may be exciting and joyful, they come with a little bit of stress that I like to call a learning curve. But then, of course, distress comes with the loss of a job, the loss of a loved one, a relationship gone bad, the loss in general can create distress, the loss of health. What do you have in place to make sure that you don't fall apart when life happens? Do you have prayer? Do you have meditation? Do you have those things that you can stop and cause life to slow down until you can regather your emotions? Those are your internal organizations. Now, these are what I call them. You may call them something else. And then finally, relational organization. There are people for every season and every reason of your life. Learning who they are and where they are in your life will save you the trouble of calling your hangout buddy, I'm sorry, I'm reading from my notes, guys. I usually don't use notes. Or you're getting sound advice from someone who have never experienced. The example that I'm thinking of is, if your business is not going well, would you call your friend who have never owned a business or have no aspirations of owning a business? You would call on the person who knows what you need to know, right? There's a saying that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. You should always surround yourself with people that know a little bit more than what you know. And that's when you create those relationships that are sustainable and that can help you to get over that organizational dysfunction. Or if you're having problems in a relationship, would you call on somebody who's never been in a relationship? Would I ask my 14-year-old son who's never been married for marital advice? Not likely. Surround yourself with people who know more than what you know. That's part of your organization, and it's called relational. Now, this may not be a warm and fuzzy conversation because sometimes they're not. Sometimes those are the times that I said earlier, sometimes we have to grab ourselves in the collar and say, get it together. Take the time to figure out what in your life you need to get together and work on those things. Put a system in place. We need a standard operating procedural manual for everything that we do. whether it's a system for paying bills, whether it's a system for connecting with other people. Yesterday, ironically, the lights in my youngest daughter's school went out, and it was a total power outage. It was a power outage in the whole area. But guess what? They had an alternate plan. They had a generator, not a generator that necessarily restored the power to where it originally was, but the generator kept them warm, and it provided emergency lights so that they will be able to safely evacuate the school and allow the children, the students, to go home. What plan of action do you have in place in the event of an emergency? Think about it. If you need some help coming up with some plans to create that standard operating procedure, hook me up. Look me up. Connect with me. I help people to discover what their next is. I help people to discover what it is that they need to do to accomplish their goals. Go to www.rubyepowell.com and schedule your free 30-minute consultation. Once you schedule that appointment, you'll get a questionnaire, pre-assessment, that talks about how you want to make a transition and what you want that transition to look like. I can help you get there. So hopefully I will see you in a consultation. And if not, I encourage you and admonish you to create your standard operating procedure so that you can have a greater level of organization in your life. I'm Dr. Ruby with Dr. Ruby Says. I'll see you in 2 weeks.